Team Coach Emily here with today's recovery practice. I've got another stretching sequence for you guys. This one is super quick and easy to do. All focused today on forward folds, different ways you can do them, proper ways to do them. So specifically, we're looking at lengthening our glutes, our hamstrings, maybe a little bit, and through our hip flexors. Okay, so this is really good if you're just feeling really tight in your lower body. We've been doing some really killer glute workouts in class, so if you're one of our group fitness members, you're probably feeling it right about now. So this will be really good for you guys. Okay, so first I just kind of wanted to go over super quick the proper way to get into a fold. So I just want to start with a wide-legged forward fold. And if you've taken a class with me, you guys know kind of the specifics of how I teach these, but if not, I just wanted to go over it real quick with you guys. So what you want to not do when you come into a glute hamstring stretch is just drop down into it, okay? So I always start with the hands on my hips, whatever fold I'm in, just to make sure that my hips are squared. With this position, it's not that bad, but just as a habit, I like to kind of have my fists together and thumbs forward. I had a teacher teach me this, called it your headlights. You know, your headlights facing forward, or are they facing the other way? You can kind of look and see whatever position you're in, that your hips are forward. So you want to start shifting the weight back into your heels, and you want to think about sending your hips back as your chest comes forward. So you don't just want to plop down, right? You want to shift the weight back, okay? And then every time you come forward into a fold, we want to make sure we come down first with a nice flat back. Go as far as you can go and then round. Okay, so we're going to start with this guy. Just a wide-legged forward fold. You can dangle if that's comfortable. You can fold, find kind of a ragdoll pose. And bring it left to right, or you can just hang out with hands down or hands on your knees or your ankles, depending on your flexibility levels. Typically, you want to hold for about 20 to 30 seconds. It's going to be about roughly 5 breaths, depending on how fast you breathe. This is a really good one to get into our hamstrings, but also into our adductors and our groin area. So while we're here, we'll do a couple of runner's lunges back and forth. So for your runner's lunges, you guys want to make sure your toes are forward and that your knee tracks in line with about your second and third toe. So I'm kind of watching myself here. I want to make sure I'm not hyperextending my knee way out or too far forward, okay? If you get any funkiness in the straight leg, I want you to engage the foot, the left foot. So flex the foot, drive the heel down, just to protect this back part of our knee. So we're just going to hold here briefly. Okay, and second side. This should feel really good if you've done a lot of squats or lunges, especially those good lateral side-to-side lunges. You can get a little sore from those. Okay, and then coming out of these, you want to make sure you come back to neutral first. I come into this kind of wide squat, straighten out the legs, and then slowly bring yourself up. Okay, so just to counter that, we'll find just a little brief back bend here together. So you can clasp the hands behind the back. Draw the hands down, a little baby back bend, bending through the mid and upper spine. So anytime you do a fold, you want to counter it with a little bit of motion the opposite way. Okay, release. Go ahead and bring it down to a mat, please. And then a couple of things that we can do from here. So one that I really like, you're starting in a wide stance, so similar to where we just were, we're just on the ground. If you're really tight in your legs, it might be closer together than mine. If you're more flexible, you can open up to like a middle split, okay, wherever your body is at today. We're going to start on the right leg extended, left foot is coming in. So for this one, we want to square up away from our extended leg toward the bent leg. So hands on the hips, squaring up, so chest, if you're looking at like the midline, middle of the chest, we want it directly in line with that left knee. Okay, arms are coming out. And remember, we want to keep an engagement through this right foot. Inhale, lengthen, so we're pressing through our sits bones, lengthen up from the crown of the head. Exhale, this little side bend here, and we're reaching toward that right foot. Okay, if you really would like a big stretch today, you can open up this left arm and then reach. If you're really flexible, you should be able to hit the foot. You can see I'm not quite there. I haven't done this one in a little while. And what I want to make sure we're not doing is collapsing in. So inhale, open up, square up the chest, exhale, extend and reach. Okay, and then we'll do the same thing on our other side. So go ahead and switch, come back to that wide stance. Right foot coming in, and if you're really flexible, you can bring the foot in kind of toward the groin area. If you're not quite there, bring it to the inner thigh or the knee. Just make sure you're not putting pressure on your actual kneecap here. So bringing that foot in, left foot drives down. Same thing here, hands on the hips, squaring up toward that right knee. Arms come up, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, reach. So you might be here, this arm can relax. You might want to bring that arm up, reach down toward the toes. On up, okay, and then we'll finish our kind of seated series here with a butterfly pose. So we're bringing the feet together, bringing the feet in toward the body. So if you live in a bendy body, go ahead and bring those feet in. If you live in a tighter body, feet are going to want to be out. So you can kind of see in the video here, my right knee likes to hike up and my left knee comes down. So if you're like me and you're a little bit imbalanced, that's okay. That just comes from hip tightness. Okay, so what you can do in this case, especially if you look in the mirror and you notice this right away, give that knee a little bit of a push and try to even out this seat. Okay, so we're starting with hands on the feet or the ankles. I'm gonna put a little bit of pressure there into my right knee. Inhale, pull on the ankles and lift your chest so we have a super tall seat. And then same idea as the standing fold. We're gonna exhale forward with a flat back, please. And then once you go as far as you can go, which here might only be an inch or two, okay, we're gonna fold and just fully release the head, neck, shoulders, thinking about your upper body, just fully relaxing toward the ground. So I like to do a little bit of a scan on this one, starting at my occipitals, at the base of my skull, going down the neck, into the tops of the shoulders, the shoulder blades, checking just for any tension or any holding there. And we just really wanna actively let that go, okay? So this might be a more passive stretch for you, especially if you would like to hold these stretches longer. You can release the hands and palms up. You just want a really juicy, deep stretch. Hands stay on the ankles. Elbows will press down into the knees. You should really feel that one. That's a really big stretch for me. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to finish up today with a breathing exercise. So this gets a little bit of a forward fold and a back bend to counter out those other folds that we've done. It's called Robin's breath. It's a pretty common breathing exercise in yoga, but it's super simple if you haven't done it before. It's a really good exercise to do if you want a little bit of movement, but you also need just some calmness, and you would like that mindfulness that comes with focusing on your breath. So you want to start here in your easy pose. If this is not comfortable for you, you can lift up the hips, sitting on a bolster, pillow, cushion, whatever you've got. Hands into heart center. Inhale, we're going to press those fingertips together and lengthen the spine. So sit up as tall as you can, just that someone is pulling you up with a string. Okay, inhale. Exhale, send the hands out and round the spine, tuck the chin. Next, inhale, open the arms, puff the chest forward. And then repeat, exhale, bring it down. Inhale, we'll come back where we started, hands to heart center. Let's take a few rounds together. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round. Inhale, open. Chest comes forward, arms come back, shoulder blade squeeze. Exhale, round. Inhale, bring it in. Okay, we'll take 2 more rounds together. Alright, you guys, so that is our practice for today. Hopefully you feel a little bit more comfortable with those stretches and how to do a forward fold the proper way. Those kinds of things. Just being mindful of the way your hips are shifting, the position of your spine and your neck and your shoulders. Just being aware so we keep our backs super safe as we go through these stretches. Okay, so if you guys enjoyed this, let me know what you think. If you did it, okay, leave me a comment or send me a message. Okay, hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their week, and I will talk to you guys soon. Aloha.